1,000 laughs over a weekend as well. Vail Comedy Festival. Pet an alpaca or hike a trail. Memorial Day.
Hey everybody, it's another episode of Live from Vail Comedy Festival. I'm Mark Masters. We got Peter Wong joining us today. This is a remote taping. We're not technically live from Vail Comedy Festival. It's about a week after the festival. It's hard to fit them all in, all the in-person things. Peter was very busy around Vail, and we're gonna find out about that today. Where you're joining us from, Peter?
I'm in Houston, this place called Conroe, Texas right now.
Okay, fancy. I assume some kind of comedy related something or other.
So yeah, I'm shooting a movie, and I can't give too many details about it, but yes, I am.
Okay, very exciting. That's cool. All right, well, let's talk about the festival. Let's focus on that. This is Live from Vail Comedy Festival. So Peter was a comedian on the festival. Let's start off with how you heard about the festival in the first place.
I heard about it from a good friend of mine, Stephen Rogers, hilarious comedian. Good guy.
Headliner of last year's festival.
Headliner of last year's festival.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, great guy.
Yeah.
Has been out to do a Vail comedy show as well once. We popped up a show for him. So he's been to Vail a couple times. I think he really enjoyed it. So it's great. So you heard from another comedian and then you applied and you got in. Committee loved your tape. And then how did you get out to Vail for the festival?
I flew to Denver, which was fun.
Okay.
I've never been to Colorado before, so I really wanted to check out the Denver
yay.
scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, drove up with Salma.
Okay, another a Denver comedian that was on the festival. Awesome. Pretty drive, nice drive.
Yes. Did she tell you about the drive back?
No. Were you the ones with the flat tires? Maybe I heard about that, but
2 flat tires. We got a flat. We fixed it, which I was able to get. I won't brag, but I had my fair share of flat tires, so I knocked it out in like 10 minutes, and then we got back on the road. Yeah. We got back on the road 5 minutes. No, I'd say 10 minutes later, another flat.
Wow.
And we're like, Jesus. And I missed my
And then
flight.
you got another flat. That's crazy. On I-7, was anybody late for a flight or anything like that?
Me, yeah, I had to change my flight.
Oh.
So that entire day was travel related.
Oh, that's brutal. I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, the lesson is when you come to Vail Comedy Festival, get like a Mad Max style car, because who knows what kind of nails or Home Alone style booby traps are going to be waiting for you on I-70.
Well, multiple people stopped at the shoulder we were at to, I don't know, do whatever, to stand. And then they would ask, "Are you all right?" And then we're like, "Yeah, we're fine." They're like, "This fucking road sucks." Like all of them said that.
I've never gotten I've done that drive so many times. I've never gotten a flat. I ran out of gas once, but that was my fault. That was my mistake.
Oh, jeez. That must be a nightmare.
It took about 3 hours of me waiting on the side of the road for AAA to show up. It was a little bit of a bummer. But yeah. All right. Well, there's okay. So you get to Vail. Let's rewind. So drive up was beautiful. All 4 tires intact. You get to Vail. Where did you stay?
I stayed at the Tower Lodge.
Tower Lodge. Okay. Very close to everything, right?
Great location. Very beautiful hotel. But definitely the location was great. It's a dead center. I was like across the street from one venue, 4 minutes away from another, and so on and so forth. So it was perfect.
That's great. Cool. So you get checked in okay. And then what's one of the first events you go to during the festival?
First event I went to, that's a good question. I think I did the 5 o'clock, 5-minute set.
Okay,
the first, the fiver. But first we did the kickoff, right?
A little party for the VIPs and comics, some food, and right by the Gore Creek. Very pretty.
Very pretty.
Did you have a fun time catching up with people?
Yes, that was a blast. Delicious barbecue. Although I saved mine for after the show.
Moe's Original Barbecue. Shout out to them.
Yeah. Are they from Vail?
They actually kind of interesting story. About 30 years ago, they were ski bums right out of college, opened like what we would call a food truck today. It was a trailer behind one of their cars. And they put it on the side of the highway about 10 miles away from Vail. And they started selling out every single day. And then they
Oh.
eventually opened up a retail store, like a restaurant in Lion's Head, which is where the free magic shows were during the festival. That's like a mile away from the Vail Village, from your hotel.
Mhm.
And that store was open forever. Then they opened another store in Eagle, Colorado, which is like a half hour west. And now they have like 30 plus Moe's Original Barbecues around the country.
Whoa.
These little kids from Vail that started this thing, they're all over the place. They're all over the Southeast. They're all from Alabama. They make great barbecue. And really, we run a show out of their Eagle store. And it's probably my favorite show that I run. It's incredible. We turn the place into a comedy club one night a month. And it's so much fun.
That's awesome. I love
We're
barbecue.
going to have, do you know, oh gosh, Jeffrey Asmus?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be there next week. I'm excited about that.
Awesome. You're going to have a great show. Jeffrey's a killer.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
You're based in New York City, right?
Yes. Yeah. New York City boy.
Cool. Yep. Did you grow up there?
Yeah, I did. Grew up in Queens,
No
New York.
way. Oh, wow. That's wild. When did you, like, this is a little off topic, but when did you get into comedy? Like, did you watch New York comedy, like, growing up as a kid, or?
I didn't watch New York comedy per se. I watched like guys like Jim Gaffigan. I watched Dimitri Martin, Zach Galifianakis. Eventually got into Louis C.K.
Like on TV or in person?
On TV. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't go to a single comedy show despite being as close as I was to the best stuff. Not until like 17. That was just because I did a bringer show. And then from that point on, I think I went to see Pablo Francisco live.
Okay.
And by that point I had given comedy a try already. I actually didn't really like stand-up comedy. Like besides the guys I really liked, I overall didn't like it when I was like 18 or so. And then slowly through kind of getting into it, that became like deeply in love with it.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Neat. Okay, so you do your Fiverr. How'd the Fiverr show go? Or talk about any kind of show experience you had at the festival.
Fiverr show went great. They're great. And right off the bat, I was like, oh, this is going to be a pretty fun weekend because they're all jazzed for comedy.
Yeah, the audience was hot. They were excited. Yeah, that was cool. Were there any comics you didn't know at the festival that you enjoyed meeting and getting to know?
Yeah, there were New Yorkers at the festival that I didn't know, I never met before. Britt Migs.
Okay.
Jamelle was another one. And then we became like fast friends through that. And then meeting April as well. And no, not April. Is that her name? I'm screwing up names.
Bailey, maybe?
No, Bailey I knew.
Okay.
I'm getting nervous. I don't want to get names wrong. I'm like,
okay. All right. We'll go right past that. We'll talk about we'll focus on Jamelle and Britt, who are your new fast friends in New York. You think you'll see them in New York now, or is New York scene so big that you'll never run into them?
Yeah. Now that we have look out for each other and got met each other and had a good time hanging out. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're gonna meet up at some point. You know, but New York is very like it's so much. Just jumping around that sometimes you don't meet forever until you're just on the same show. And you go, oh my God, how you been? You know, even though we're like literally 30 minutes train ride away from each other or something like that, you know, it's crazy.
Right. That is crazy. Anybody from the Colorado scene or other scenes?
Well,
anybody
Salma.
You knew? Okay. Salma.
I knew Salma when she was 19 years old, decided to do a summer of comedy in New York. She just decided to do that by herself, which at the time I didn't realize how like crazy courageous that is until now. And met her briefly, and we were both just bombing in open mics just every night, just you know. But we didn't be friends at the time, but we kind of had this understanding of like you know brothers in the trenches kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then when I got into Vail. Spoke with Gabby, who I met through another festival, and she said Salma's in Vail. Maybe she could drive you up. And I was like, that name sounds familiar. And then found out that she was the person that we were bombing together with, and then
You guys came a long way, all the way to Vail Comedy Festival, crushing it. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
And you guys both
yeah.
did so well. So that year of bombing, or whatever it was, summer of bombing, really set you guys up for success, because you
Summer
were two
of.
of the best comics, I would say, on the lineup. You
Oh, thank
consistently,
you.
like Salma was killing in every single room, and you were killing in every single room. You're on the closing show. Holy cow! That joke that involves a streaming service, let's say, I'll keep it very vague, is one of my favorite jokes I heard during the festival. It was really, really good. I'm very jealous of that joke.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm at an Airbnb right now, and I'm thinking about your smoke detector joke, which is I found very funny.
It's right behind you in the thermostat.
Why is there an SD card in it?
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, that's so funny. That's great. Well, thank you for listening and paying attention. All right, let's talk about how about food and drink? You get out, eat anything, drink anything?
Little Diner was such a highlight.
Oh, the best.
I don't know if Adam Mueller, he had it.
Yeah.
I'm not even exaggerating. I think 4 times. He had it 4 times. And there was one
That's
day
great.
where he had it for breakfast, and then I had a hike, and I wasn't with him. And then for the hike, I was going with Jill. And Jill, I hit up Adam, see if he wanted to go. He said, yeah. And when we got there, he's like, yeah, it's my second time today. I'm like, okay. All right. So he loved that place.
I love the Little Diner. Did you happen to get the pankoken? Do you know about that? This is
No.
Dutch pancake thing. You got to order it like right when you sit down. It takes like 20 minutes to get. It's my favorite thing. It's like this huge. You get it, share it for the table. It's awesome. Yeah, the Little Diner is really fun. How did you get to the Little Diner? That's a little bit of a hike from Lodge Tower. Did you take the free bus, or did you walk, or?
We did the hike and then walked straight to there, which was a long walk. But we wanted to get some exercise anyways. But right afterwards, the bus is literally right out the Little Diner, and it goes straight back into Vail.
Yeah. That's the largest free public bus system in North America. The
Really?
Vail bus system,
And it's very smooth.
Yeah. I mean, it's so advanced. They're always improving they have these little digital displays that tell you to the second when the bus is coming.
Yeah.
And then
it's insane.
now you can watch on your phone. You can see where the bus is. They got like everything. It's always like 5 years ahead of major cities. They're all electric. Those buses.
That's amazing. Because New York has is good. It's a very good system. It has its problems, but considering the density, they're doing great. So for seeing that, I was very impressed.
Yeah, it's funny. It's hard to convince people sometimes to take the bus, because they just have preconceived notions of what a public bus will be like. But I'm not kidding. It is not unusual to see people in tuxedos on that bus. It's like it's a very fancy, but other than the 2 a.m., which they call the Vomit Comet, is the bus after the bars close, like during spring break or whatever. That is, I'm a few years removed from riding that, but I remember back in the day that was always you had to open the windows so that people wouldn't get sick. As long as the cold air was coming in, they were pretty good. Yeah, the bus system is awesome. So Little Diner, great, cool.
The George, I love the George.
The George, fun hang afterwards. Here's a little inside baseball for you, Peter. On I think it was Saturday night. No, it was Friday night, first night of the festival. I ended up talking to the owner of the George, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do a comedy show there next year during the festival. In that room, like when you walk in to the right, there's a big hangout area where we had the pizza the second or third night.
Yes.
We're going to put a stage up against the far wall and just fill it out. Probably bring in some chairs, and so that'll be fun.
That'll be fun. And there's a little loungy couch thing where everyone's sitting up elevated. Will be great seats for that too. Yeah,
exactly. All right, well, let's get into some like a little controversy here, if you will. Maybe not controversial, but is there anything we can improve at the Vail Comedy Festival? Like, what's something? And I have a thick skin. You can say anything. I'm sure you've been on a lot of festivals. You got a lot of experience.
I don't know. I guess one thing was maybe I don't know. Maybe like. I can't really think of anything.
Less flat tires is what I'm hearing.
Less flat tires. The only thing that, like the last night, I guess a place that was like that was a little more dancey, but that's more of a personal thing. I like to get a
You mean
little
like the after party?
after party kind of a thing. The George was a
Yeah.
lot of fun though.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed the George a lot. But the last place was fun. But the music
Yeah.
wasn't that loud, which
Yeah.
makes it hard to get really into it. But that was just the thing.
Sure.
It's not that I'm a
We had
huge
DJ Rob Hayes in the house, though. We
I
wouldn't have
know.
had him at the George, so that
Yes.
was
That
that
was
was a
really
nice
fun
treat.
that night. Hmm.
Yeah, that was a good time to shut down the fest. Okay, cool. Work on the after party. That's a good note. I like that. I like that. What's the best after party you've ever been to, comedy related? Would you
Comedy
say?
related.
Yeah. Could be
I
a
would
show, could
say,
be a festival.
or well, okay, it might be a festival then. I think 10,000 Laughs. They did like an after party on the last day at the bar that where a lot of the main shows were at.
Uh-huh.
Um, and we had all these vouchers at the same place where the vouchers came in, and yeah, so we all were there congregating, drinks flowing, um,
Yeah.
bad decisions being made, so everything's great. So that was fantastic.
I love it. I love it. Was anybody at our festival with you at 10,000 Laughs? What year was that? Do you know? Do
That
you
was
remember?
2022, 10,000 Laughs.
Okay. So last year. Okay. So
Yes, I'm sure there was, but I just wouldn't be
yeah,
able
I
to
think you had
remember.
some people from last year's festival, like Sammy Anzer, I think was there, and he did last year's festival.
Yes, yes,
Usama Siddiqui did last year's festival. I think he was on 10,000 Laughs.
yes.
Um,
Bailey was with me at Limestone that same year, so
okay.
that
Nice.
was one crossover that I had, but not many other crossovers other than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then cool. What's something you loved about the Vail Comedy Festival? Something that was different or
How
something?
close everything was is terrific. You know, the show at the shows at Frost were really good. The shows at the Sister Lounge, I forgot what it's called again.
Sarah's Lounge at
Sour
Christiania
Clown.
Hotel. Yeah, yeah.
That Friday night show was like
It was
unbelievable.
Saturday night. Saturday,
Saturday night,
7:30.
Saturday night.
The Carmen Lagala show. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes,
Yeah, I was
yes.
magic. Like you get every once in a while, you just who knows why that happens. But for me, I've been at 1,000 comedy shows. That was top 10 easy. Something about the
Yeah.
crowd and just the low ceilings and the performers.
Yes.
And it was
You
just
knew
it worked
within
out
5 minutes of the show starting that, oh, this is a banger. Like you just knew in 5 minutes
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a special
Um,
one for
Yeah,
sure.
that was really cool. I'm pretty sure we'll use that venue again, hopefully. We did that once before, only one other time if we had a show there. It was for a monthly show, and our regular venue had some kind of plumbing emergency, and we had to
Yeah.
pop up a show there. And we actually had more people at that show than we did at the festival show. And Sam Talent, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's a Colorado guy. He blew the roof off that place. It was so that we're basically 2 for 2 with nighttime shows at Sarah's Lounge.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure for the next headliner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that room's very special for comedy. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. We got a couple minutes here to wrap up. Anything you want to promote or talk about as we land this plane? Or any sponsors you want to shout out? Anybody who took care of you at Vail?
Sponsors. I really liked Joe's coffee. The Loaded Joe's.
Loaded Joe's, the downstairs with the ice cream, or local Joe's? No. I'm sorry, I got it backwards. You're correct with Loaded Joe's. That's where we did the open mic the first day, and you got the gift card. They're great supporters of the comedy festival. Yeah.
Good coffee,
They're
great
awesome.
Sandwiches. Their sandwiches is great. So
what did you get? Cubano?
I got I ordered a Cubano and they gave me a turkey BLT, but it was still delicious.
You never know what you're gonna get at Loaded Joe's. But it's going to be delicious. That's the important part. All right.
Yeah.
And where can people find? By the way, before he says where to find him, Peter Wong is hilarious. Like, I don't say this about every comic, but I was very, very impressed. He came highly recommended from a lot of comedians. I don't have anything to do with the actual selection process of the submission comedians, other than letting them know they got in and got out. I was very excited that Peter made it through that gauntlet, and he did not disappoint on stage. He was incredible. So do go check him out. Where can people find you online?
You can find me on Instagram, Peter Wong Comedy, and I have a YouTube channel with videos and stuff, Peter Wong Comedy as well. So yeah, please look for me.
Okay, awesome. Well, this has been another episode of Live from Vail Comedy Festival. We'll be back with a couple more of these remote ones. Thank you, Peter, for joining me. Good luck with the movie.
Thank you. I thank you so much, and thank you for having me on the Vail Comedy Festival. It was truly a great time, and it was a blast.
Okay, tell all your friends.